Alright guys, welcome back to what will hopefully be the first video of 2026. I'm currently in Linea. I don't know if you can see behind me is a Rock of Gibraltar. I'm going to take a little ride out today, nothing major. We've had torrential rain for the last God knows how many months. And it's finally finished, the sun's come back out and I'm just dying to get out on my bike. So we're going to head up the coast. We're going to go to a place called Castellar de la Frontera. And there's a castle at the top of a hill next to a giant reservoir. We're going to go up there. Two reasons for this. One, I need to get out on the bike because I've been bored since Christmas. And two, apparently this reservoir up there is at bursting point, so I want to go and have a look at that. So, plan is about 20 kilometres straight parallel with the sea. Then we're going to a place called Sota Grande. Then we're going to turn inland, do a bit of country laning. That will bring us to the town of Castellar de la Frontera. And then from there we'll head up the hill to the castle. We'll have a look at this reservoir, and then we'll have a wander around the castle, maybe tell you a little bit of the history of the area, and then we'll head back down. So, good to have you along. Let's go and do it. Let's see what the route brings. It's a very windy day today, but it's nice. The sun is out. It feels a bit warm. But more important than anything, it's not raining. For those of you in the area, you'll know that we've had torrential rains. We've had towns washed away, thousands of people evacuated. Well, I've been lucky where I live, but very close to my home. We've had rivers bursting their banks with people being evacuated from towns. Thankfully, I think it's finished now. It's all over. We can get back to living a normal life. We can carry on doing what we normally do without getting run over by a Maserati. It's looking lovely today. And there are so many holes in the road. Bits of road washed away. It's quite shocking that this can happen, that water can be so damaging. Good luck with them three. So the other thing you'll see along the beach lines is men picking up what looks to be bamboo. It's not. It's actually Japanese knotweed that is growing in the storm drains throughout the year. And then when we get the big rains in January, February, March time, it gets destroyed. It's not as strong as bamboo. And it gets washed down onto the beaches. And then they have to spend, I don't know, millions, I guess, clearing up all this broken knotweed. So that's what they're doing. You'll see big containers by the beaches. This guy. There we go. Middle-aged men in Lycra. Someone told me, someone commented on one of my videos because I mentioned middle-aged men in Lycra and how odd it is. And they told me, I can't remember where it was from, but I will look it up. Where they come from, they call them mammals. Spelled M-A-M-I-L. Middle-aged man in Lycra. Ha ha, mammals. That's it now, they will forever be mammals in my brain. Alright, now we're back on the back streets again. Nice little lanes all the way up to Sodo. How nice is this? Don't tell me there's another car in there. There is! Every week there's a car in the bush. Man, some people just don't know how to drive around here. Alright, what we're going to do, so basically we come the length of parallel to the coast. We're now going to turn in line. There's a roundabout at the bottom of this hill. We're going to hook a left. We're going to go out past Sotto Grande Alto, and then we'll get into the country lanes, which will lead us to the town or the village of Castellar della Frontera. There we go, Castellar, 11 kilometres. And off we go. It'd be nice if we didn't get stuck behind a big taxi all the way up there, but never mind. Let's see if we can get around him. Yeah, I think we can. There we go. Man selling golf balls, as always. And this road is a beautiful road to ride. And whenever I come here and I don't have a camera, the road is empty of traffic. And whenever I have a camera, there's always some idiot in front of me. Never mind. At the end of here, some big international school. They're probably just the money is going to pick up the children. Hopefully all these cars will turn left or right, and I'll go straight on. He's going, where are you going? Oh, you're going straight on as well, are you? That's a shame. Alright, we're heading out of Sotto Grande now. This is where the country lanes start. Stuck behind a Golf CDI. What did I do wrong in life to get stuck behind a Golf CDI? Now we're up in the mountains. Unbelievable scenery up here. Unfortunately, this area has been a bit damaged because a Swiss company have bought up farmland in this area and they're installing wind turbines in the area. Now, I don't know if you guys follow the how these things work, but basically the energy it takes to build and install a wind turbine far exceeds the energy that it actually generates. And of course within 20 years they're completely screwed and have to be put in a landfill. But yeah, apparently that's what's happening. If you look to my right, there are more wind turbines gone up over there. Look at that. Not one of them's going round. It's a really windy day and not one of them's turning. I know you guys can't smell it obviously, but I can smell the air, and it smells damp. You know, like the soil is sodden. Man, we've had so much rain. I feel very sorry for the people that lost everything, their homes, their possessions. They lost everything during the floods. We were lucky, we had a little bit of water ingress into the house, nothing major. The house itself is extremely damp, but nothing that can't be cleaned up. You know, for those that lost everything, that's truly tragic. It must be devastating knowing that there's absolutely nothing you can do, you know. Look at this. What a day. What a glorious, glorious day. Okay, so we're now coming up on a place called Castellar Zoo, just over this little hill. And Castellar Zoo is a rescue zoo where you can stroke animals like tigers and lions and things. I stroked a little tiger cub, very nice. I went back another day and they had a big tiger there. And you can stroke him, and I queued up to do it, it doesn't cost you anything. But there was a guy in front of me went and did it, and the tiger bit him, trying to grip him by the hip. Hey, I didn't hang around to see the rest of the stroke the tiger. There's certain things you don't need in life, and one of them is an attached tiger on your leg. Alright, so here we go. This is the start of the village of Castellar. It's very small. We'll be out of here in about 3 minutes. The ball's in the middle of the roundabout. Don't know what he's doing there. Now this area as well gets a lot of camper vans here. There's one, two, there's a couple I guess, yeah. There's normally a lot more than that. French. Massive speed bumps, there we go, Castellar de Frontera. Los pueblos más bonitos de España. Here we go. Let's see. Now I actually know someone who lives in the castle area, so they have to do this route every day. I wouldn't mind it in the summer, but in the winter I think it'd be a bit much. On the left up here is a helicopter fire service. I'll tell you a story about that when we get to the top of the hill. Well, here we go, middle-aged men in Leica. They're fucking everywhere, these boys, aren't they? It's also an offence to ride side by side. Some of you noticed that the bark on the trees is stripped off. That's because up in this part of the world they take the bark off and they make things out of it. All sorts of things I've seen, like holder for cigarette packets, and even a baseball cap, purses, bags, all sorts. And that's what they do, they strip the bark off the trees. Now this place down here is a little bar down here. On the weekends it gets very busy with motorcycles. There it is. But it's shut, I think, every day of the week apart from Saturday or Sunday. I've never gone past there and seen it open during the week. This bit of road is always shit. It looks like they're actually filling it up. Bit of loose gravel on the road as well. With a down tree there, that obviously came down, had to be cut off. But still we climb. And we should be able to see the reservoir on our left. Now, let's have a look. Yeah, there she is. Whoa, that is full. That is full up. We can get right over the top of it further up. I'll tell you what, it's great to be back out again. I feel like I've been like a hermit for months, just sitting indoors. Oh, look at this, man, look at this. That is full. I don't want first gear, second to do. Nearly came off here once, coming down here, hit gravel, hitting on the front brakes. There we go, we're nearly there. 7 kilometres done. Bus stop here. Never seen a bus come up here, but there's a bus stop. I guess just in case. Again, everything's still really wet here, look. Couple of restaurants here. We're nearly there. We're nearly at the top. There's the castle. And there we are, the top. Alright guys, so we've made it. We're now at the castle. The castle's just there. And then over in the distance you can see the Rock of Gibraltar and the Bay of Algeciras. So that was where I started off. We're now up here. It's a nice ride down. The castle looks quite busy, so we'll have a look around. Bike's looking fantastic right in front of it, very dirty, but there you are, such is life. Over in the distance over there, that'll be like Estepona, heading out towards places like Gaucin and Jimena. And then, oh, it's a bit breezy over here. You can see the road, where the road continues down. Obviously we're not going to bother going down there. There's not a lot for us to see down there. So we're going to go into the castle and have a look at that. Let's go and have a check it out. Anyway, there's a fantastic looking motorcycle. Could do with a wash though, whoever owns it, needs to bloody clean it. Don't get much better than that. Let's go and check out the reservoir. I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised how busy it is here because it's a Monday, but I guess people come here for the fun of it. Anyhow, let's have a look. Let's see what we're at. Yeah, man, I've never seen it that full before. Look at that. I've never seen it as full as that before in my life. We won't go too far, we don't get blown off down there. But yeah, that's pretty full. Alright, let's go see the castle. So the castle, Castellar de la Frontera Castle, is a historic Nasrid fortress. It was built between the 12th and 15th centuries in a strategic place controlling the Strait of Gibraltar and defending the Kingdom of Granada. After the Christian conquest, it became known as the Palace of the Counts of Castellar, evolved into a walled town with an Alcazar church and unique whitewashed little houses. There is evidence of early settlement in the area that dates back to the Bronze Age, with cave art found nearby as well. During the Muslim era, called Al-Andalus, the fortress, known as Al-Kars, became the key part of Granada's defences, controlling the Strait of Gibraltar and serving as a rear base. The fortress was conquered by Castilian forces in the 1430s and later integrated into the House of Castile in 1465, becoming the seat of the Counts of Castellar. Ownership passed to the powerful house of Medici in the 18th century until the early 20th century. During the 60s, the area inside the walls of the castle became a bit of a hippie commune, and the main people that lived there moved out to the newly constructed Castellar town, called Castellar Nuevo, in the early 70s. Today, the majority of the castle is actually a hotel, and the buildings occupying the small little streets, many of them are part of that hotel and are rooms that can be rented, but some places are still privately owned dwellings, and there is even little tiny bars in there. That's not a bad view. Alright, and that was the castle. Look at that review. How stunning is that? Alright, let's head back down and head home. The good thing about this road is there's 2 lanes. And you never know what's coming around the corner. So the only way down is the same way as you came up. Let's have it. There we go. So I'm at the top of there and I'm talking to two guys with a bush bike, cycled up from Jib. Must be crazy. Anyway, still no buses here. Look at that, I think we got out at the right time. How's that for a stunning view? Look at that. We'll just coast down here nice and easy. And remember that video with the we had to follow the car and a zombie pops out? Isn't that it's exactly the same place? Man, what a beautiful place! What a beautiful place! All right, we're going back down. Oh, I didn't tell you about the helicopter thing. Okay, so back in September last year, there was a helicopter on a training exercise. It was a fire helicopter, you know, the ones that have the big bucket of water underneath, or the big bag of water, and they were scooping water out of the reservoir here as a training exercise, and they crashed, and it crashed into the water. Thankfully, both the people involved that are inside survived. They got out. The helicopter was sat in the water for about 10 days, leaking oils and fuels and whatever into the reservoir. Now, the Spanish government, being what it is, they basically covered it up, kept it very quiet. But of course, when there's an aviation accident, there's certain logs and protocols that have to be done, and information was available. So that helicopter sat in, I think, 15 to 20 meters of water for 10 days before they recovered it. Now, you think, well, that ain't the end of the world, but that reservoir supplies water to the surrounding area. I mean, we're not just talking irrigation, we're talking to houses and towns. So for 10 days, there was a helicopter leaking fluids, oils, diesel, whatever, into that. It was kept quiet, and the water was never cleaned or drained. It just went through its standard filtration system. Yeah, Spanish government. And then people wonder why we only drink bottled water in my house. That'd be a reason. God knows what was in that. But yeah, there you go, that's the helicopter story. I'll put a link up, you can have a look for yourself. Interesting dog. I think you look a bit scared, to be honest. There's a few more cars here. Is he open? Let's have a look. No, I don't think he opens apart from at weekends. Anyway, this is the landing pad for the helicopter that crashed. It's not there today. Hopefully it hasn't crashed again. You never know, I guess. Well, hopefully not. Alright. We're back down. It's so close, that place. It's unbelievable. Alright. We're now heading home. Gonna take this nice road. This is where we came from earlier, Almarema, the train station. And now we got this. Look at this. Even the cyclists get their own lane away from us. How nice is that? See? Away. This is what it's about. And then of course we've got the stalks up on the poles. Giant great things. This area is full of them for some reason. Like pterodactyls or something. Alright guys, I think we're going to leave this one here. I hope you enjoyed that. Oh, there's a big stalk. If you did, please hit like. For sure, comment. I'd love to hear your comments. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Subscribing does help me grow the channel. It makes me get off my lazy fat ass and go and do more videos. Look at this bird, man. He's flying all over the place. I hope he's not going to attack me. No, he's gone. Anyway, that's it from me. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers guys. Peace out.